Hey, what's up guys, Irman here, Monster Gadgets. I hope you're all having a wonderful day wherever you might be. Thank you so much for joining me, and I apologize, I am still a bit sick, as you guys can probably tell by my voice. I will try to alter this in post so I sound somewhat better, but I am still recovering from being ill. In today's video, we're going to be talking a little bit about Apple TV, and if you haven't checked out my previous video, I'll go ahead and card it here. I did an unboxing of it, and I had a request from a couple of different people saying, hey, you've unboxed it, but you didn't do a review on it. What are your thoughts? So here is a video where we're going to go over my actual Apple TV setup and what I think of it. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright guys, let's go ahead and get started. Here we are at the TV, and I've got my Apple TV remote in my hand. As you guys can see, I do have a silicone case on here that basically gives it an extra protection in case I was to drop it, and it's got a little loop that you can go ahead and put around your wrist. Now the reason I got this is just because in case I drop it while playing a game or something, it won't break the remote. But it does, like I said, does have some protection on it. And this one actually has a magnet in here, so if you want to put it next to your TV and magnetize it, you can also do that. I'll go ahead and link it below if you guys want to go check that out. So let's go ahead and get into the menu here. So here's the main menu, and as you guys can see, I've got a couple different apps on here, such as Netflix, YouTube, YouTube TV, Disney Plus, Apple TV, and a few other apps. This is really no different than your phone itself. You simply go into the App Store and you can go ahead and download whatever apps you want. Obviously there's recommendation, again, similar to what you will find in the App Store on your iPhone or iPad. So you've got apps, you've got games, and you've got arcades. And then of course, anything that you've purchased would show up here as well. So let's go ahead and first start off with what makes this different than an actual smart TV. Now, yes, you can get Netflix, you can get YouTube, YouTube TV, and all these different apps in your smart TV. But what makes Apple TV unique is, number one, if you've got movies that you've purchased from Apple, you are able to watch them in on Apple TV in full ultra high definition 4K, if you have obviously 4K available for those videos, as well as your TV. But any purchases you've made even before Apple TV came out, or you bought Apple TV, if you bought a high definition one, if it's available in ultra high definition or 4K, they will update your movie purchase to the higher definition, which is really kind of nice. So number one, obviously Apple TV, as well as, again, any purchases you've made on Apple would be on Apple TV. The second real cool thing about this is, in my opinion, is also the arcade. Now this does have a subscription. It's $4.99 a month, but basically what this allows you to do is it allows you to play and download any of these apps, game apps that are in the arcade mode. You can purchase a controller for it, or you can actually use your PS4 controller and a couple other controllers that are basically wireless. You can go ahead and program them on here and use those to play some of these arcade games. So again, like I said a little while ago, as far as your Apple TV purchases or Apple movie purchases, you have the same thing as far as your music. You can go ahead and download and basically listen to all of your tunes, your playlist, whatever you purchased through Apple right on here, along with any photos that you have that you want to share from your phone or iPad. You can simply just go ahead and display them on here. So that's probably the biggest reason somebody would buy an Apple TV as compared to just using your smart TV for some of these apps. But in my opinion, it's definitely worth it to be able to stay within the Apple infrastructure and really have all of your games, your music, your photos, your videos, your purchases all on here on the big screen versus just having it on the iPad or on your iPhone. So another one of the great features on here is now the remote actually has, or Apple TV actually has, Siri built into it. So if I wanted to give it a command, I can go ahead and hold this button down. And for example, if I want to play a song, I will go ahead and hold this down and give it a command, and it's going to go ahead and come up. Play Beautiful People. Just like that. So I'm not going to play it just for the copyright issues. I'm not going to play that song on here because it is copyrighted and I can't post it if it catches me. So those are basically all the great things. And I don't have a whole lot of apps on here. Again, you can basically go on here and download a lot of apps. Just be mindful that, you know, based on the space that you bought for your Apple TV, you want to be mindful of what you actually download you know, if you have movies or you have a lot of apps that take up a lot of space, you might have to free some of that up to make room for new apps or new movies. Now, we talked a little bit about some of the great things that Apple TV has to offer and why you would purchase it, but let's go ahead and talk a little bit about some of the cons. And this really drives me crazy. I'm gonna just point out one big one. For example, if I go into YouTube TV and I wanna be able to view my most recent shows or where I left off, for example, I like watching Everybody Loves Raymond or King of Queens. So if I go into my library tab here and I go into most watched, and if I go into Everybody Loves Raymond, well, guess what happens? It actually gives me, as you guys can see, season 9, season 8, season 7, season 5, and then so on. But it does not, it actually goes from the most recent backwards. And I wish they wouldn't do that, just because I don't want to see any upcoming episodes that are happening. So for example, this is season 9, episode 17, season 9, episode 15, season 9, episode 14. I wish they would do it from the beginning, such as season 9, episode 1, 2, and 3. That way I don't get a preview of what I'm actually going to watch in the future. Now this probably isn't an Apple TV issue. It's probably more of a YouTube TV issue. But that's just one of my pet peeves of actually having to watch it on here, because now since I am on episode 15, season 8, as you guys can see here, I had to scroll all the way through all the other ones that are upcoming to get to where I want it to be. So YouTube, if you're watching this, please fix this. It's very annoying. I don't want to see any upcoming videos. I want to be able to see the shows that I'm at and continue on from there. So that's just my pet peeve about this particular YouTube TV app. All right, guys, that's it. Hopefully my voice didn't bother you a whole lot, and hopefully you guys bear with me until the end here. So thank you so much. If you did enjoy this video, make sure you give me a big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Stay safe out there, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.